Welcome back to Talk of the Town on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
And we welcome you back to Talk of the Town for this Tuesday, May 19th. I'm Gary Stevens. If you missed our Zoom conversation with Dr. Brian Davis last half hour, he is the superintendent of Highland Public Schools, the audio of which you can go to our website now at WHTC.com and the podcast tab, listen or download at your convenience for free. We'll put the video up a little bit later on our Facebook page at WHTC, at our Facebook pages, 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. We'll be open line following the 11 o'clock news, and Patty Vanderberg will begin in about 10-15 minutes or so from now with what's new around Howland. But Tuesday mornings between the 10 and 11 o'clock hour, we talk about your yard, your garden, things you want growing in it, things you want around, and things you don't want around with the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seed, Washington and Elm in downtown Zeeland. That is Jan Meeuwsen. She's on the other end of our Google Hangouts connection from DeBruyn Seed in Zeeland, and she joins us now. Good morning there, Jan.
Good morning.
I see over your left shoulder, it looks like one of Mr. Butternut's toys.
There's toys all over the place, yes.
Okay. I see that Mr. Butternut has had toys in there, but as you mentioned during the garden party, I just want to sort of bring it back up for a moment for our Talk of the Town listeners. There was a little bit of a dicey moment involving the mascot of DeBruyn Seed, Mr. Butternut. He's been having some health issues. It looked like it was going away for a while. It came back, unfortunately, over the weekend.
Yes, it did. And we still have him, and he's a little low-key right now. He's actually down in the store right now sleeping. He has not wanted to go down there for a while, so because he's wanted to kind of be up here by me and kind of stay away from too much excitement. But he feels good enough to be down in the store today, so we're thrilled with that. He's on different medications now, and he seems to be doing much better.
And now, is he on a no catnip diet yet?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know whether or not, sometimes because of some of these illnesses, you want to keep the kitty away from some of the things that are good, that they like, but it's not good for them.
Well, he has a couple of catnip plants growing back there, and he gets a couple of little leaves, every couple of days.
Okay. All right. So as long as
that's it.
Got to make sure that, he's got to be a happy little kitty, but also, we got to keep his weight down. We don't want him being morbidly obese as the...
Not with his heart problem, no.
No. As the president has been described by the House Speaker a little bit earlier. But anyway, we'll leave the political talk until after the 11 o'clock news block. But if we do have a question about yard and garden subjects, the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, will be happy to take it at 395-1450, 395-1450. I am what I am. It's the old Popeye line, and it looks like the I ams, or at least yams, are now in at DeBruyn Seed in terms of
they will be in
the seeds.
Friday. Yes,
okay.
They're coming. Sweet potato plants are coming in on Friday. So, yes, this is like everybody wants these things. It's the highlight of our year. So we're getting 2 shipments, one this weekend and one the next weekend. So if you don't get them this weekend, because they do sell out quickly, we'll have more the next weekend.
Now, are there 2 different types of yams we're talking about? I'm using the word yams because I'm kind of like it right now.
We just get the Beauregard sweet potato plants. It's a shorter day plant. They grow well up here. We don't have time for most of the sweet potato plants up here.
Yeah, get them in, get them growing, and then get them out because they don't like cold.
No, they do not like cold.
All right. Memorial Day, of course, is coming up Tuesday, and at DeBruyn, you got the cemetery liners in.
You betcha. We've got the liners, we've got the green pails, we've got it all. We get new ones in every day, so don't worry about it. We'll get them in through Memorial Day. So I know a lot of people, it's not on their radar because there's no parades or no things going on. But yes, it's nice to put the flowers out there by Memorial Day.
Yes, because even though it might not have the ceremonies, but certainly to honor those who have given their lives for their country on Monday is something we still need to do as a nation.
Yes.
395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to take it.
We did have a question that emailed it in, and they had rabbits that had dug a hole under the rhododendron bush, and they wanted to evict them. It isn't that hard to evict them. If they've got babies in there, you're going to have to wait till the babies are gone. It will just be a couple of weeks. Remember, Mama Rabbit is nowhere around most of the time during the day. She's far away trying to get any predators away from her little home. So don't think that they've been abandoned. Mom will be back there at night. But once the rabbit has done using the nest, cover it up, and I would get the Liquid Fence granules and I would put it all the way around the rhodo bush, and they will not be back there again.
Do we have to do that for ducks too?
I know a way to get rid of geese. I don't know a way to get rid of ducks. Yeah, they love to be around the bushes too.
Yeah,
and
because
they can bite. Yes, they're not nice.
I'm waiting for our little ducks to have little eggs laid down, ready to go. I don't think we'll get the 8 or 9 duck hatching that we had a couple of years ago. But let's just say the boys have been boys, and we should be getting some little ducks in our complex soon.
Little ducks soon. All right. They're kind of they're pairing off by my house too. So should be soon.
It should be soon. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hey, I got a quick question. We got all these plants that we've just bought from greenhouses and so on, and we've had some cold nights, and you usher them out, usher them in. Do they succumb to damage if the temperature doesn't fall below 32 degrees?
It depends on what the plant is. Broccoli plants, go ahead, put those in the ground right now. But if you're digging around in the ground and your hand is cold, it is much too cold to put down tomatoes or pepper plants. Yes, they will succumb to what's called transplant shock. So we certainly don't want that to happen. You just spent all that time and money on it.
Right.
If you're putting it into a container, you could probably go ahead and put it into any of your plants into containers right now. That's fine.
And pretty much leave them out if it,
I don't think it's going to get to that
will probably break it in.
Yeah.
Geez, if it's 40 or 40, don't worry about them.
I would worry about tomato plants yet. You can just cover them up, but the other plants, no, not too much.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. Covering up plants. What's the best thing to use for covering up plants?
I use anything I can get a hold of in my house. I have used I have used an old sheet that I just rip up and throw it over. It doesn't have to be much. It's not like we're trying to tuck them into a down bed.
Good or no?
Yeah.
Plastic would be all right?
Pardon?
Would plastic be good or not so hot?
Actually, milk jugs, people will cut off the top and just set those on top, but that works fine. Yep.
Yeah, because Holly and I went to Grand Haven on Saturday, and we drove by a place that had free plastic. Big pile. And there was somebody with a pickup truck putting the plastic in the back of the pickup. What does that do? We don't need no big sheets of plastic, but apparently, they did.
They did. Well, hey, it does serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, on those cold nights, it will work well.
All right. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, I was listening, I believe, last week, and Jan talked about a product that you put around the base of your flowering trees because there's an insect that wants to kill them too. And if she could remember it and tell me the name, and I'll write it down.
That is the Bio Advanced Tree and Shrub. And I know it's kind of a strange name.
Bio Advanced. Okay.
Yeah. Put it around your trees now. You bet.
Okay, thank you so much.
Appreciate
You're
the call.
welcome.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450. We were talking a little bit about, ducks, which means birds, but we have some spring chores are for the birds as well, and not trying to keep the ducks away. There are some other chores that you need to do to take care of the little birdies.
Yeah, make sure your birdhouses that you hang up are nice and clean inside. You don't need to keep the nests from last year. That's going to have mites and things like that. Just take those out, clean it out, and put them back up so the birds can make their own nests. I mean, that's what the boys do to entice the girls over to their house.
Yeah.
So
give them an opportunity to mate.
Yes, and do the whole thing right. Yeah.
Right.
So clean those out.
Yeah. Hold on a second, Jan. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hi. Good morning. When you first started talking to Jan, you asked, "Can she get rid of ducks?" And she says, "Nope. I know how to get rid of geese, but not ducks." And I'm going, "How does she get rid of geese?"
Geese do not like grape. So there is a Goose Be Gone formula that has grape essence in it that you just have to spray the yard or wherever you don't want them to be with it, and they will stay away.
You think so? We tried
Yeah, that actually does work. Yeah,
Well-
they use it on golf courses.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think we live in Royal Park. You know where it is.
Oh, yeah.
Our area has been just totally blessed with geese. They wake you up every morning, like 6:45. They're out there honking awake. I guess they think that's the time everybody should get up.
Yep.
Anyway, and they have babies, and those babies now have grown. They're gray already, not yellow anymore. So that when they come through, it's like a train. 7 babies, mom and dad. That's 9 at a time, laying there, leaving their droppings. And so, I think that's all they're good for. It even landed on my deck, and I opened up the slider, and they look at me like, "You want something?" So I throw ice cubes at them. That makes them move. I figured there'll be no residue left telling them that I was abusing them with ice cubes. But anyway, so if you have something, we tried
the
grape last year twice.
Yes, you bet.
Well, maybe it's a new mixture. Because what's the name of it again? Goose Be Gone?
It's just Goose Be Gone. Yeah, it's nothing exciting.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll work a little better this time around than last year. All right. Appreciate the call. Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. So can these geese get grape resistant?
Not really. No.
Okay.
Just spray where you don't want them. It's not going to work to spray, just in the air or on the water or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want them on your deck or the lawn around your backyard, go ahead and spray that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, between the grapes for the geese and then the hot peppers for the feed so that the squirrels don't get around. We'll find other purposes, if you want, you got rotten bananas, you dump it in, you bring in the, that brings in the hummingbirds.
Is it just monarch butterflies that like the rotten bananas, Jan, or is it in all type of butterflies?
No, that's, well, actually, if you want to just take a rotten banana and just kind of, mix it with a little water and put it on a rock or something out in the sun, you'll get monarchs to that. Yes, but it will be all butterflies will come to that.
Because I saw one posted, I don't know, it was twisted in a wire or something, hanging like out on a clothesline pole or out on a post out in someone's yard, and it was just peppered with butterflies.
Yeah. Oh, they love bananas. It's a good source of minerals for them as well as moisture.
And potassium.
Yes, and potassium. Yep.
One more question before we get to Patty's segment. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, good morning. We have a lot of garlic mustard, and it sounds like it's kind of elegant that it should be something good to have garlic and mustard. Can it be eaten or used in any way?
I have not heard that it's poisonous, so I mean, if you want to try it, but the leaves are quite small. It's not like it's a huge thing. I've never tried it myself. I always just assumed it was a weed and I wasn't going to eat it. But hey, you know what? I don't think it's poisonous. So if you want to try it, go ahead. I would try a small amount.
In Indian lore or something that, somewhere down the line somebody used it for something.
Somebody must have used it for something and they planted it here and it just loves it here and it will just take over. So yeah, who knows?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450. Jan, before we had the break, we talked a little bit about taking care of your spring chores for the birds. You talked about having a clean birdhouse. You don't need to have the wipes up or make it COVID-19 preventative. However, you do want to make sure it's clean. Maybe have a little vacuum to get all the you want to make sure that the birds have a nice safe thing. But there are some other things as well. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hi there, Jan. We purchased some hay for to put over or straw or something to put over our garden, over some parts of it. And we have excess straw left over. And we now have it in garbage bags in our garage. And we know that's going to be a feast for some small rodents. Is there anything you could put in those bags that would repel them? Is like mothballs or something like that? Is that a good thing to throw in there or what?
There's moss. There is a mouse poison you can put in there, but I don't necessarily think you want to put that down there. You can spray with rodent stopper in there to keep them out of there. I would think that probably might be your best bet.
Okay. Well, we just hope they enjoy their new home for a short time. So anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Appreciate the call. Thank you. 395-1450, 395-1450. Jan, again, just touching about some of the chores for the birds. We talked about a nice clean birdhouse. What about feeding the birds and maybe sort of change their diet a little bit so that they don't become morbidly obese like a certain 45th president of the United States has been described?
No, putting out some mealworms, adding it to your feed, adding mealworms to your feed really draws in a lot different birds. We got a lot of warblers coming through right now. Adding some fruit, nuts to your mix always adds a lot of birds. Adding a water source adds a lot of birds. And then making sure that the feeders are clean. Sometimes you get all that feed at the bottom of the feeders that's all gunked up and stuck on the bottom. Get rid of that, clean it out, because that can carry mites and diseases. So make sure you have a clean feeder. Mix up the feed this time of year. That's the fun part, because you get to see all the fun birds that come through here. And mixing up, there are a ton of orioles out there this spring. I don't know why, but they are everywhere. So get to know their sound, because you'll hear them before you see them. And if you hear them, get out some grape jelly, some orange halves, they'll be all around your hummingbird feeders if you'll let them. They're a little bit too big and clunky to be on there, but they really try their hardest. They are so much fun to watch, and they come in groups when they're in your backyard. So encourage those guys. Get an Oriole feeder, get it up right now, because if they find a place that they can reliably get food, they will stay here and have some babies. So, and not fly further north. So let's get them here and keep them here.
Yeah, we want Baltimore in town who can beat them up. No, that's a different type of Orioles. That's when we have to worry about baseball in the spring. Well, they won't be in our division anyway. But anyway, let's talk about taking care of the lawn, and we're almost to the end, if not already, of trying to get rid of the crabgrass by chemical Ali and all that, because it might be a little bit too late for some of those things.
It might be a little too late for some of those. The only product I can think to put on right now is something called Dimension. We do carry Dimension just by itself or with Greenview fertilizer. It does a pre-emergent plus a post-emergent. It can be up to 3 to 4 leaves on the crabgrass plant, and they aren't that tall right now. They aren't even showing yet. So that would be the only thing I can think of to get rid of it, because if we remember last year, there was a lot of crabgrass around last year.
Good morning, you're on the line.
Yeah.
Good morning, you're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning. Is a female Oriole real light orange?
Yeah, she's kind of drab. She's not as pretty as the guy.
But still very pretty.
Well, they're all pretty in God's eyes. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, appreciate the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. Unfortunately, in the birding world, it's the guys that, let's put it this way, they got the looks and the girls have got the babies. So
that's it. The cardinal, is bright red and the female's kind of brown. What can we say?
Yeah, what can we say? Other things about the yard and the lawn aspect of it in a little bit. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Morning, Jan. Good morning, Gary. Hey, at one time there used to be something in my yard called grass. That's no longer the case. I have a lush crop of dandelions and violets, and I think the neighbors are starting to form a committee to move us out of the neighborhood so that they can destroy all those things. But here's the question. Is there anything we can do now rather than rototilling it all under and starting over? Like, can we put down a weed and feed right now, and will that still be effective?
Yes, of course you can. The violets, probably not so much. You're almost going to have to add something with tricloper on the lawn to get those guys. Maybe a spray, and just walk around there with a tank sprayer and spray those guys. You can get rid of them. It's just patience. And, you could tell them you've got a violet farm or something. I can look across the street. I have never seen so many dandelions in my entire life crowded in one little lot. So I understand your pain. I can look at my yard. Yeah, maybe I am. But yes, I can understand your pain. Weed and feed, yes, you can still put that down. Get rid of those dandelions at least. You might have to walk around for the violets with something with tricloper in it and spray those guys.
Right. Cool. Thanks.
Appreciate the call. 395-1450. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning. I'm going to stay on the bird theme. We had a pair of scarlet tanagers show up in our yard yesterday, and they hung out for a while. I did not see them today yet, but what can we do to attract them, keep them around? They're beautiful.
They do eat insects, so mealworms. You can put a pie plate of mealworms out there for them. They would love you for that.
Oh, okay. We'll try it and see what happens. Thanks, Jan.
Yes, or mix mealworms with your birdseed. Yes, mealworms. They love it.
Appreciate the call. Thank you. 395-1450, 395-1450. For that caller before about dealing with violets and dandelions, they tell no lies, but they also don't help the grass at all. You need to basically get the weeds out, put the seed in, but that's not, I don't want to say it's easier said than done, but it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done, yes. Usually grass seed and weed killing is not something you can do at the same time. You can prevent crabgrass and put down grass seed by putting down a special fertilizer. A weed and feed, no, you're still going to have to wait, with a 4 to 6 weeks afterwards to put down grass seed. But, at least you don't have to look at all of the weeds. And hopefully if you just fertilize that lawn, it will just get thicker all on its own. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, you want do it the natural way. I mean, that's, don't have to, go to the grass farm and roll out the new the new sod.
Roll out the new, yep.
Yeah, and then people say, "Wow, you got that new seed worked out so well." Of course, you can lie and say, "Yeah, it did." You can also be truthful. Says, "No, we had we had the grass people come in and lay down a new thing here." Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning. I was just wondering, I just bought a hydrangea. Now, how do I take care of it? Where do I plant it? What side or what grass? Sunny, what?
No. It's going to like to be like on the east side of the house where it gets just the morning sun, and it will be just perfectly happy there. Don't put it in a place where it gets too much sunlight.
Oh, okay. And it grows pretty big, doesn't it?
They can, yes. Give it plenty of room. Social distancing. Remember to keep it away from your other plants. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450. Dealing with grubs. We dealt with ticks a little bit earlier, but we also have to worry about the grubs being an issue this time of year, especially, I don't know whether or not because of especially since we've had a wet spring and we had a wet past couple of days, whether or not grubs are going to be more of a problem or it's just a problem because they are grubs and grubs
They're
are
grubs. They're just grubs. No, the wet will bring them up to the surface of the soil, and as long as they're near the surface of the soil and eating, we can put down something. The Dilox can be put down to kill them right now. That has to be watered in well, so put the Dilox down right before rain, right before you sprinkle it, and that will work. Make sure you don't just put it down and leave it there. Within 3 days, it breaks down and it no longer does anything because it just photo degrades. So remember to water it in well after you put it down, and it will kill the grubs that are there. But then remember, later on, the beetles will be laying eggs in the lawn. So then you want to apply the Bio-Advanced season-long grub killer in a couple of weeks to prevent that from happening. But yes, if you look and you've got grubs right there, put down Dilox right now.
Which is good, if it's wet, the grubs come up, that's nice. But it's also not good if you want to try to kill weeds chemically because you need to have dry conditions, right?
You need to have dry after that. We can't, it's either wet or dry here. It's one or the other. And when it's wet, it's too wet. Yes.
Yeah, so and you don't want to have to, pull the weeds because you pull the weeds and all of a sudden here comes another one because you can't really pull all the weeds all the way down.
Yeah, a lot of weeds will come up and you think you've got it all, but you really don't. But it'll take a while for the new weed to come in, and maybe you will have forgotten it by then. But yes, it is a hard thing. Garlic mustard is pretty easy to pull, but a lot of them are not. So.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Stevens. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, listeners. I like to do work and research into the immune system, and I read Prevention Magazine, and they make all kinds of suggestions for natural health and the immune system. They recommend eating garlic and onions and beets and spinach and stuff like that. Could you comment about eating healthy vegetables to create a healthy immune system?
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call.
Well, always eating fresh fruits and vegetables is the way to go. That's why a lot of people have gardens, so they can have their own fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, but the thing is, as I think caller earlier, I think it was on the garden party side, garlic mustard, there are some things we haven't tried yet. Okay. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning. I have hostas that always have holes in the leaves, and somebody said it was grubs, so I put down grub killer. And any other suggestions?
It was close. It's slugs with an S. So yes, slugs. Yes, they love
slugs. Yeah.
Yeah. Slugs.
LOGS.
Yeah. That's you want to slug the slugs. That's what we're calling about.
Okay, yeah, so what do I do to get rid of those?
Well, you could go out at night with a flashlight and look under the leaves and pick them off, but that usually isn't everybody's idea of fun. But you can put a saucer of beer out and make sure that the saucer is even with the ground so they crawl in there and then they drown. It's got to be deep enough. Or you could just put out slug bait and around there and they eat that and they die.
Slug bait.
Yes.
Okay, I can try that.
Right.
Yes.
Because I thought I'll get them before they start because they're just, kind of about 5-6 inches tall now.
Yes,
a great idea. Do it now. Yes.
Right, thank you for your help.
I appreciate the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. Yes, it's going to be that time to get the beer out.
Yes. We need those drunk slugs around here again. Yep.
Yeah, and it's not even October, so it can't be Oktoberfest. But anyway.
Maybe they have a June Fest or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But of course, the cheap beer, the cheaper the beer, the better. You don't want to get.
And actually, the staler the beer, the better. So, yeah.
Good idea. Good idea. We have some fun. I always like to mention the fact that there's the old game in the arcade called Whack-A-Mole. We don't do that really. It doesn't really work too well to whack-a-mole, but there are other ways to get rid of the moles because they're out and about, and especially with the ground being so moist and soft, it's a lot easier for them to maneuver around these days.
That's exactly it. So they are active. The mole worms work extremely well. Put it down in their active runs. Traps work well. There is the castor oil spray that you can spray. I don't know how well that works, but it takes a while going from the house, and you got to keep going in bands up from the house. But there are options out there to get out there, and there are different poisons too that you can use.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning, Jan. I'd like to talk a little more about that cedar apple rust. We have a rather large cedar tree with them all over the tree.
Yes.
And with a small apple orchard nearby, can you treat the cedar tree, or should we cut it down? What's the best way to control it?
It won't hurt the cedar tree, and I know that it's usually not just one gall. It is hundreds of them, and they are all over. I've got one lady that's going to cut them all out, but that's basically going to kill her cedar tree because she's too close to other apple trees there. I mean, that is a thought, but I mean, this doesn't happen every year. It just has to be the perfect weather conditions for this to happen. I would. There's no way you can cut them all out. There's just no way.
No.
And hopefully the apple trees and whatever crab apples, hawthorns are not downwind. Hopefully they are upwind of the. Hopefully they aren't west of the your juniper cedar tree there, because those little fungal spores will go with the wind.
Do they start going with the wind after the orange falls off?
Well, the orange will kind of turn into kind of this dark brown, and that's when the spores will start to form. So that you don't have to worry about it in the orange form at all. I mean, this is the thing that just is cool for second graders, but for you're going to have to worry about when it actually starts to turn brown. That's when the fungal spores will start leaving these creepy orange things and flying away. If you could put a little plastic bag around each of them, that would be wonderful. I mean, it was going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, it sure would. And the tree is about 30 feet tall.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, that's the way it always is. Yeah. I hate to say, that this is going to happen every year because it probably won't. It just happened to be that it was the perfect storm for weather conditions, and that's what happened this year. And I would get your fruit trees start them on a good fruit tree spray now.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Good.
great.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call. 395-1450. One last call before the end of the program today. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, I was wondering, is it too late to put Grubx down?
It's right on the edge of Grubx time. If you can water it in really well afterwards, it takes a long time for Grubx to move through the soil to where it needs to be. But yeah, if you've got it, put it down, water it in well.
Yep, it will be certainly helpful there. Thank you very much for the call. And with that, Jan, we're done with this.
It happens way too quick, yes.
It certainly is. Of course, Jan is at the office, so the Brine Seed, Washington Elm in downtown Zeeland. Say hi to Mr. Butternut. Thank him that he is still with us. And say hi to Jan as well. She'll be there Monday through Friday, and of course, Saturday mornings right back here with the WHTC Garden Program with Jan from 11 to 12, and then on next Tuesday morning, Garden Party a little after 8:35, and the Yard and Garden Hour on Talk of the Town from 10 to 11. Jan, thank you very much as always for your time and your expertise, and let's do this again next week.
Let's do it. All right.
Thank you very much. That is the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. Coming up, it is CBS News with Steve Kathan, followed by WHTC News with Peg McNichol, and then some open line time on WHTC's Talk of the Town.